For reference and purpose of the presentation, I gave each one of my family members a copy of the slides so that way they're able to keep up with me. Hi, my name is Diaz. I'm going to be presenting today on my group's camera company, Halations Inc. We produce both entry-level cameras, which is cameras for beginners, and multi-feature cameras, which is cameras for the more professional user. We're going to go over our competitive strategy, and we're going to go over how to run our company. Alright, so I want you guys to flip to the first slide. It's our strategic vision. Our strategic vision is to have higher quality cameras at a price that consumers can afford. We want customers to pay a low quality kind of fee for a high quality kind of experience, never missing out on the finer things, because we want the best for our customers. In short, better cameras make for more memorable moments. Alright, so for the next slide, these are performance targets. You guys can see right here, it's a list of 5 things. Keep in mind, each of the performance targets that we set for these is just slightly higher than the consumer's expectations. The only one that isn't is year 11's credit rating. That was a B+ by the consumers. We just wanted to start simple from there, and then we wanted to build. Most of our years we had an A rating or an A- rating, just for reference on that. Right. So here is our performance trends. You guys can see we started out strong and then we declined rapidly because we had kept the same competitive strategy, which had hurt us, but we adjusted it in year 11, of which case you can see we brought our company back. Alright, now we're going to go on to the competitive strategy. Alright, now keep in mind with those performance trends that I just showed, this is our competitive strategy on how we were going to get ourselves out of that hole because we had declined so fast. So for the entry-level cameras, we wanted to produce a less expensive camera and still provide that high-quality kind of experience. We made available 5 sets of models. That was our limit, so we wanted the max amount of models so that way each camera could pertain to the beginner's preferences. And then if you look at the next slide, it's the competitive strategy for multi-feature cameras. We wanted to become a global market leader in multi-feature. We didn't have necessarily a set strategy to this. We wanted to just more adjust ourselves to the new market trends of it and kind of toy with our pricing and everything, because there is no evidence to support this, but as you could see in the performance trends, we came back, but we wanted to get ourselves out of that hole. And a lot of that had to do with we had too high of production costs, too high of labor costs to make these. And it was a little bit too expensive than it should have been, but they were quality cameras. Alright, next to the production strategy, if you guys will look at the graph below, from year 9 to year 10, we are well above the industry average, which is not a good thing when it comes to production costs. We were losing money actually. Same thing goes with labor costs. We were paying too much to our employees on overtime and whatnot, and then for production costs we were just paying too much and we weren't getting enough back. In year 11, we happened to just finally meet just a little bit higher above than the industry average. All right. Now for the next 2 slides, our competitors were Epic Shot cameras and flashback cameras. Respectively, you guys can look at the graphs for each one. For the entry-level cameras, just know we had a better pricing at just a slightly lower quality of a camera. For the multi-featured, we had higher pricing than they did. I'll explain that in this next slide for the actions needed. Alright, so we want to come ahead and outcompete Epic Shot and flashback. Now one of the biggest issues that we had is we had too high production costs and labor costs. So we wanted to focus on lowering those production costs and the labor costs. We wanted to have a lower pricing for multi-feature cameras. Now, the one thing it didn't show in those graphs is we had a higher rated quality of cameras. So they had, I believe it was a 3-star, 3.5-star camera. We had a 4-star rating camera at a 5. So we wanted to lower the price, but we didn't want to lower that quality, because if we lower the quality, we lower our credibility. We wanted to continue our lower pricing for the entry-level cameras because that's where we had excelled in. We didn't excel necessarily with the production cost of it, but once we did in year 11, it just shot through the roof. Alright, and we also want to adjust for the new market trends. We don't want to have the same competitive strategy. Alright, now, these are the lessons learned for the whole camera market in general. We want to adjust our predictions more carefully. We weren't adjusting them right, we were adjusting them how we would like it to be, but not how they actually were. We want to be much more wary of our production and labor costs because we had let that run by and not focused on it. We want to have a more well-defined strategic vision and know where we were headed because we were kind of just shooting in the dark. Same thing with our competitive strategy. We just had the same thing, just staying with the market and not focusing on the fact that it changes up. And then we want to analyze the trends and strategies of competitors and improve upon those. Okay, so with all this information, my name is Eric Diaz, and this is Halations, Inc. Oh, if you guys could please come up. Professor Hansen, these are my 3 subjects. But listen, my family. Thank you.
And the must.
And the mud.
Okay. Good job.
Thank you.
Where was he at?